Let's talk about the source machines of Tonverk. The source machines are sound engines that provide a specific functionality for sample playback. I'm on track 1 now, and I'll hold function and press source to access the available machines. They are single player, multiplayer, subtracks, and MIDI. In this video, we will focus on single player and multiplayer. Let's try single player first. For the single player machine, we can load one sample, mono or stereo, and play it in 8-voice polyphony. Right now, it is just a machine on this track, so the next step is to load a sample. Let's open the sample browser by holding function and pressing this button where it says samples. We are now accessing the SD card's content, including the Elektron's factory library and the user folder. To navigate, use up and down to scroll and press yes to open the selected folder. Let's check out the factory library. I'll go to single samples, tonal, and chords. Once you are inside a folder of samples like this, use the keyboard to preview each sample. Let's select a few by pressing yes. See the check mark next to the sample name. All right, that's enough for now. I'll press right and then select load to project. Let's go back to the source page by pressing source. Here, if I turn knob D, it will open the project sample slot, and I can see the samples I just selected in the library successfully loaded to the project. We can load up to 4 GB of samples per project using a maximum of 1023 sample slots. Once samples are loaded here, they can be quickly assigned to the tracks. I'll choose this one for track 1. The single player machine is 8-voice polyphonic. So even though this is a single sample, multiple notes can be played at once. I'll record something quickly in live recording mode. Hold record and press play. While holding record, press play repeatedly to toggle between quantized and unquantized recording. Let's try unquantized. I will also turn on the metronome by holding function and pressing the F-sharp key on the keyboard. Now, one of the aspects that makes each source machine unique is the parameters on the source page. These parameters control the playback of the samples, and they vary depending on what machine is selected for the track. The single-player machine can play a sample in 4 different play modes, controlled by knob B: forward, forward loop, reverse loop, and reverse. Using the knobs in the bottom row, we can adjust the start and end points, as well as the loop start and loop end points when the play mode is set to loop. There's also a crossfade control adjusted with knob C. Increasing the value here will crossfade the portion of audio before the loop points, as you can see on the screen. And this can help mask the clicks and make the loop sound smooth. For example, this is when the crossfade is set to 0%. And this is when it's turned up. Also on the source page, tune sets the pitch of the sample. Using knob A, we can go 5 octaves up or down. Hold function while turning the knob to snap to a full octave value like 0, 12, and 24. It's also easy to shift the octave on the keyboard with the plus and minus buttons within the 3-octave range up and down. Alright, so that's it for the single player machine. Next, let's look at the multiplayer. The multiplayer machine plays multi-sampled instruments in 8-voice polyphony. Let's select track 2, hold function and press source, and this time I'll select multiplayer. It then takes me to the list of multi-sampled instruments. Just like browsing samples, use up and down to scroll, and use the keyboard to preview the selected instrument. There's a variety of instruments available here. You can also create your own multi-sampled instruments using Tonverk's autosampler, which we will cover in a separate video. Let's select this one for track 2. Let's record something in using live recording mode again. Now let's check out the source page. Notice it looks pretty different from the one for single player. In addition to tune, which is also adjustable by 5 octaves up and down, we can add a vibrato effect controlled by knob E, F, and G. Let's mute track 1 by holding mute and pressing trig 1, so we can hear track 2 more clearly. Increase the vibrato to add the effect, and adjust the speed. We can hear the pitch fluctuating. Fade controls the time it takes for the vibrato to fade in or out. For example, turning this up will introduce the vibrato gradually after the key is pressed. Overall, the vibrato helps us add more expression to our sounds. And that's it for the multiplayer machine. For all audio tracks, regardless of which source machine is selected, there's a wide range of parameters available to manipulate the sample. We've got filter, amplitude, FX, modulation, and the note-related parameters on trig. You can access more detailed settings by holding function and pressing the parameter keys. This area is called the track setup menu. For example, on the amp page, you can change the envelope mode between ADSR and AHD. On the trig page, you can access settings related to play mode, voice, as well as macro settings for mod wheel, aftertouch, pitch bend, and so on. Alright, that's all for the single player and multiplayer machine. Be sure to check out the video for the subtracks machine as well.